and this is going to be for another project, but I needed to have one whole piece. So it's 5.5 inches wide, which is why I wanted to build the sled, so that I don't have to joint 4-inch wide pieces and then join them together. So I'll be honest, it took a while to get this lined up right, but I think I have it. So now we're going to run it through and see what happens. Alright, here you should probably see. Of course, I don't have sandpaper on here, but here's what I'm going to try to run this through and see what happens, and watch. So I don't think this type of planer sled is going to be useful in my Shopsmith. With my Shopsmith planer, those lights. Unless I put a stop on the front maybe to help hold it in place. Even with sandpaper, I'm not positive that it's going to hold because the pressure pushing down, this thing's sliding. I'm going to say that for the Shopsmith planer, that this sled is not going to be a useful tool the way it is in the magazine article. So I'm gonna have to work some more on this, come up with a different idea. I think what I'm going to do, just for starters, is I'm going to put this block on the other end so that when it tries to push it through, it goes against here and then maybe pulls the whole sled through. That's my thought. Alright, you guys, had to move that block on the opposite side so it's on the front. For Shopsmith, that's what you got to do. The other ones were showing it on the back, but because of the way it pushes, then it'll work. So, it worked. It only cut part of it. I'll bring the board over for you to see, because this wasn't quite flat. So, let's see, where's the camera? Right there. So, hopefully you'll be able to see that it just did just that slight bit right there. And that's exactly what I expected, to start flattening it, because that's where it needed. So it'll work. Thank goodness, huh? Alright, you guys. I went ahead and I cut them down to 1 inch. I cut off a 1/2 inch off the 2-inch bolts with the Dremel tool. So 1.5 inch bolts instead of 2-inch. But I do not like what ended up, I don't have but maybe 1/4 inch because of that hole now that I can go up. So I think what I've got to do, I was able to screw these back into the glue so it didn't harden like an epoxy. I told you I didn't use an epoxy, and now I'm glad I didn't. But Um, I can thread these in and out now as I do my experiment, but I think I need more than a 1/4 inch, especially on that one board that I want to do. It had like, gosh, almost 3/4 of an inch, or I shouldn't say that, a half inch worth of a twist on it. So on this thing, I need to get a 1/2 inch worth, which would mean, there we go, which would mean that I've got to take a Forstner bit and put this deeper. I'm just curious to see the depth I've got available right now. Geez, just over a half, so that would be just about 5/8 of an inch. Right here, about 5/8 of an inch. And this right here is at 1 inch. Yeah, maybe not even 5/8 of an inch actually. Just over a 1/2 inch. I may not be able to get that much on it. I'm going to have to use my calipers. Use the depth gauge on the caliper to judge how far to go on that, and switch my. I could use my Shopsmith to do the Forstner bit and drill these holes, but I'm already set up with the planer and everything else. So fortunately I do have a standalone drill press over there. I'm just going to use the drill press. I know I'm supposed to I use the Shopsmith for the other parts, so, but there are times when it's handier to use a different piece of equipment, and this will be one of them. So what we'll do here, so just over a 1/4 of an inch is what I was left with the depth here, but go right about there, just under 5/8, just under 5/8. So I'll go down, I go down a 1/2 inch. I can't go down a 1/2 inch. That's not very much wood left at all. Dang it. Okay, so I'm going to make it work. The amount of twist you can do will be limited because of the Shopsmith and because of the way this has to go together. I don't know what else I might be able to do. I'll give this some more thought. Maybe I shouldn't have cut it off up here. If I cut, I can't cut off from down here, below here, because of the depth of the threaded inserts unless I cut into the metal of the threaded inserts to make this thinner so that I could make this part thicker. I'll work on it.